Thank you all so very much for allowing me to pitch today. I'm pitching committees. Let me tell you something. Yes, I did defend my proposal yesterday, but before that, I want you to know I almost quit. I maybe almost quit about 50 times. And it wasn't about the writing. It wasn't about the research. It was about the committee, the management of my committee. I have 4 committee members. I have different feedbacks. I have all these different things to manage their schedules. And that is probably one of the most stressful things for a doctoral student or thesis student. So I'm really glad to introduce you to committees. It won't help me, but it'll help somebody else. So one of the issues that we have here, well, the problem is committee members are busy, super busy. They all have consulting things. They're teaching. They're teaching. They are doing other service projects. A lowly old doctoral student only gets a little bit at a time. So we can't get on their calendars. Feedback from 4 different people at 4 different times. I need to manage all of that. And also finding the right chairperson. I only get to meet a few of the professors. So how can I choose a professor that's going to help guide me through this process is one of the hardest things you could do in an academic career. The solution is, the solutions are, how about we automatically show space on our professors' calendars without asking them to say what's available so that I can reach out, especially for professors to get a 2-hour block for defense. It's almost impossible. It took me weeks to do that. Custom timeline with milestones. I don't know if I'm progressing like I'm supposed to so that I can graduate. I just happened to do my defense yesterday, but my proposal defense yesterday, but is that in line? And is that enough time for me to write the rest of the dissertation forward? We can have templates for that. And then managing feedback items. What if we can overlay all of the feedback items over your document so that you can see where people are commenting and you can check them off at the same time? In Microsoft Word right now or Google Docs, you can only see 1 comment at a time per document. So you got to open up multiple documents. So how did it begin? First of all, me and my cohort member, my co-founder, we were sitting in class one day and said, it's got to be an easier way to manage this process. Ding. Well, why can't we do it all together? Because all of the doctoral students, all thesis and doctoral students have to do this ad hoc. They have to find their own different ways to get professors together, mainly through email. And you all know how many emails you get, and try to sort through different versions and so forth. So we joined the LaunchPeer Accelerator, and that helped us with customer discovery, helped us form the idea into a clickable prototype. We're now in the funding phase in that program, but we're actually starting to show the product a little bit more. We have this clickable prototype. We won an NC Idea grant. It's $10,000 to help us with customer discovery and move towards an MVP. Now we're going into funding, and I'm here in front of you today. Again, it's really nice to see you all. Good to be here. And so hopefully in April, we're looking at, we're using this funding that we're trying to raise now to develop an MVP for the B2C side. That's for the students. We'll talk about the B2C and B2B in just a little bit. So why is the time right now? Every student has to piece together a process to manage their committees on their own. They don't tell you this when you're signing up for a doctoral thesis program, that at the very end, you're going to have to manage 4 adults and their schedules and how they communicate with you. They don't tell you that. What they tell you is, hey, sign here and you'll be okay. Well, now's the time to do that. More than ever before, graduate students have less time to write, much less to manage their committees. If you can imagine, yes, I have 3 kids. I'm a doctoral student. I'm an executive. I'm a director of customer success, which is an executive position at a small startup. I just finished being an elected official. I was on the school board here in Durham for 8 years. So I have a lot of stuff going on, but you know what? I still have time to find a solution here, but I have even less time to try to manage 4 grown adults on how they engage with me. And then professors. This is really the B2B side. Professors have so much going on. Like I said, they have consulting, they have teaching, they have service, and now they have committees. And you can have up to 3, you could be a chair on 3 committees, but you can have multiple other committees where you're just a committee member. You have a lot going on. So why not have one place to do it? Target market here right now, initially, is going to be US graduate students. You know, obviously there's graduate schools and programs all around the world, but I think for the very initial part, we're going to do US graduate students. And then the B2B side is going to be universities. What if we could sell a solution, a larger solution to universities that offer to all their graduate students on a per seat basis? There's a lot of things happening there. You know, deans want to know how their graduate students are progressing in their capstones. They want to know who's on track, who's defended their proposals, who signed off on the IRBs, all of these sorts of things. Well, we want to be able to provide that functionality to universities there. And just a really quick note before I move on, if a student signs up on their own, the B2C product, and their university purchases it, we're going to have a mechanism to they can convert it over to the university system, so they won't be charged on a monthly basis anymore. So what is our market size? If you put together all of the universities globally, all the graduate students, all of the professors, everything like that, at our mid-level average price that we would have is going to be about $1.3 billion. If about 24.1% of that whole bucket is in the United States, so that's about $321 million. The initial target that we're going to be going to is the capstone program is about 2 years. So we're really targeting the first year of that when you start it up, because people are like myself, I'm already past that point. So I want to target those people. Obviously, over time, it's going to be 2 years of people using it regularly, because one thing in education, we continue to replenish our students. We continue to replenish that customer base. There are no direct competitors to what we're doing here. However, there's some other tools that we as graduate students, we have to put together to do different things. Google Suite, Calendly, Microsoft 365, and there's a tool called huddle.com, which is kind of more of a business kind of thing with customers. There's a collaboration, but that's the sort of customer that we have. Now, our competitive advantage, obviously we don't have competitors, but what we can do differently from those individual services is one app for everything. We can secure and direct communication through one place that universities are really, really serious about. AI-driven calendar system. Obviously, Calendly is kind of like that, but the thing is, you have to go to their page, you have to go to their individual page and see what's available. Whereas an AI-driven system, we can kind of get it together, see what's available for a longer period of time. What are they doing? You know, use that kind of information that we get on the back end and train the AI system to be able to select the times that we can meet together. And then easy to select the right chairman, committee or chairperson. We want to do it like a dating thing. What is your preferences? How do you work? What is your topic? Those sorts of things. Get that information from the university side about the professors who are available to chair, and let's match 3 or 4 people that you can actually target and say, they're going to work best for me based on feedback from previous students, what they've done in their CV and so forth. Our business model, like I kind of alluded to earlier, is an individual, monthly, and yearly, right? A monthly or yearly, you can sign up individually, put in your chairperson's email address, your committee person's email address, they sign in, and you can start to communicate that way. Complete capstone, where the individual can say, look, my capstone is going to take about 2 years. I want to buy a package that lasts for 2 years. And then the university is obviously going to be an annual ACV based product. So the university will have a contract, and we're expecting about 10 years, if you will, that we would be able to integrate with a university on a platform fee for the administration, but it's per seat for the students, so that it'll be one price there. Meet the team. Myself, I've been in the industry about 25 years. About 17 of those years I've been SaaS directly, starting even before the iPhone, where we were developing software where you get on the flip phones where you can look at the weather and the sports and stuff like that. It's not like it is now, but that was really advanced back then. I am the head of customer success at Public Input. It's a tool I've been in SaaS for a little while. I started out as a Java developer, done project program management, got my MBA from UMass, and now I'm a doctoral student, a Doctor of Business Administration at UNC Charlotte. My partner, my co-founder, her name is Denise Wynn. She works at Duke. She's over the grants program there. She manages about $2.6 billion in grants that happen at Duke University. And with her, she's going to be more of the university relationships manager for us. going forward. Now, my request is about $180,000. It's a little bit low, but what we're really targeting right now is getting to the MVP stage for the B2B system and using this to help develop the clickable prototype and the MVP for the B2B as well. We kind of have some groundwork going with the AI calendaring tool, but it's going to be AI for the calendaring tool and for the student and professor or chair match system as well. Like I said, with the B2C up at the top, we already have a clickable prototype and we're already demoing it and getting a lot of information. We're doing a lot of customer discovery. We're interviewing graduate school deans. We're in graduate students, PhD students who made it through and didn't make it through, why, and so forth. We're doing a lot more customer discovery. And so the funding roadmap, right now we're in pre-seed. We're looking at, seed funding. We're with the NC Idea grant that we got, the $10,000. We are a shoe-in for a $50,000 grant that's coming up in the spring, in the summer next year. Hopefully, we're in a Series A and Series B moving on down the road. Contact us, but I just wanted to. I'm not sure how long I got left because I didn't start my timer. Okay, I just wanted to show this with small little tweaks. What we can do with our platform is we can do group projects. That's for high school students. My target market did not include, my target numbers did not include what we can do for extending our product. So group projects for anyone, community groups, high schools, junior high schools, college, anyone that needs to do group projects, it works the same way. And also authors that write books or articles can use et al. If you've ever seen a academic research, you see a name et al. That's at alia. That's a Latin term for it. So the tool is at alia, and it's for author collaborations. Just small tweaks to the platform, we can extend it to even get a larger markets and larger groups. That is, I'll go back to this. Thank you all so very much. I know I rushed through that, but I'm super, super excited about committees. I look forward to kind of answering your questions.
Mike, thanks for a super presentation. Some of the greatest companies are really built by entrepreneurs that solve a problem or figure out a pain point that they had. So it's great that you have this from the ground up. Someone spoke about Clayton Christensen, and I can't stop thinking about low end or new market footholds. You're not really trying to build a whole calendar solution, or we don't need Google. You're solving something with the capstone group and something very finite, and then you expand at the end how you could grow. But it's really nice to see a real target market in a niche area that needs to solve a pain point. So thank you. Panelists?
Yeah, Mike, I would just lead off by saying, part of it's a great idea, but part of it's taking that idea and making it real and having passion. And, you stand out from having, passion for solving this problem, which kudos is, it's equally, as important. I think, to build on what Paul said, you're targeting an area that is clearly underserviced, right? Ripe for the picking. There's a variety of different, applications out there that, puts the ownership on, yourself and a capstone student to manage. You're solving a real world problem. And I really like the vision for what the addendum kind of, growth markets, can be, so it's, I think getting from here to there, right? Don't underplay the actual science that, can be applied here, right? Because I think that becomes a differentiator as you think about, going forward. And there are some really interesting applications that you kind of, you poked out a little bit, but I want more. Really, really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think the fact that you've sort of stumbled into a problem that you thought you could solve, that's always a good grounding point for any startup. Is you have a real problem and then you start throwing your efforts at it. The fact that you're going to have to go through the whole how do I do a startup process and learn on the fly is always going to be part of the challenge. And I do think getting I like that you've got early product testing going on. That's so important, because if you can figure out what the end customer really will pay for and will use and make it seamless and easy and those things at a low cost, then I think you've got something here, because I know people can cobble together solutions with the apps you mentioned and the solutions you mentioned plus others. But if you can make it brain dead easy, so somebody can just use committees and boom, it's done. That obviously will be something. I'm not sure it's going to be a market that the VC community is going to want to jump in, because selling into education is like selling into government. It's a mature, big market, and it moves slow. Getting the grad students to adopt is one thing. That's sort of consumer facing. Getting the universities, that's a long slog, and it's a very slow. So, but it feels like you've got something, and I urge you to keep your costs low and your experimentation high as you figure out the.
Mike, connect with me on LinkedIn. We should talk. I had the opportunity to build WorkMarket a few years ago, which was a pioneer in AI-based calendaring to transform enterprise operating models.
Nice.
As Walgreens wanted to go from, instead of hourly workers to on demand, and needed to fill in shifts and all have AI be able to look at 1,000 things and 1,000,000 variables and compliance records and everything and get the right thing at the right moment. Those workflows transform enterprises. They can transform business models, and in your use case, they can transform what is clearly a problem. So there is extraordinary artistry, technical artistry, to being able to do this, and the ability to match that capability to a flow of something you're trying to accomplish is the fundamental key to success. So ping me later, we'll chat.
Oh, absolutely. I sure will.